everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 14 on Calmsden Farm with me, Farmer Murphy. Let's talk about the big event and get that out of the way. And what the event was, I was doing some mod cleanup on my system, and somehow inadvertently while doing that, I updated the map for Calmsden Farm. Not quite sure how that happened, seeing I was just busy deleting mods, but it happened. Kind of the ironic thing, I was watching Cobbler's episode that he did on Calmsden after he had accidentally updated his map. He had looked like he had a few issues to deal with, so I came on here as soon as I could. I did everything I could think of to try and stop it, but I couldn't. So I came on and looked around. Didn't seem like we had the same landscaping issues that Cobbler seemed to have. Everything seemed to be okay at all the various sell points and everything, and where we'd added things in, so we got lucky that way. Reading the changelog carefully, I think the biggest reason you need a new save game was for possibly some textures that were changed and the addition of the linseed crop. So we're just not going to touch that linseed crop with a 10-foot pole on here, and hopefully we'll be okay and we can carry on and get the Let's Play finished. Anyways, now back to business. We're just going to carry on as if nothing happened. During the, hopefully you saw a montage, if all went well, of the work that had gone on the farm this morning, and it basically was just a continuation of the efforts to get the fields prepped after adding precision farming. And one of the things you will notice is I did some spraying, but it's what I called faux spraying. If a field's been plowed, no weeds will come up. But in order to get full credit for precision farming, you have to spot spray the weeds. But as it turns out, if you just go over the field, even though there's no weeds present, with your sprayer, you'll get credit for spot spraying the weeds that are not there. But here, you can see we're up on our canola field, field 2. We definitely have weeds. So in case you hadn't seen that in action, I thought we'd start the episode by showing you that. Now I'm just going to send a worker off here so we can see what's happening, take a close look at it. I'll come back and clean up the little spots that he leaves behind afterwards. So if we take a close look here, you can see we're just getting a spray, herbicide being applied anywhere where there's weeds. If there's no weeds, we don't get any herbicide applied. So it turns out we use a lot less herbicide doing it this way. And if we do this, we'll get full credit in precision farming for having spot sprayed our weeds. Interesting, I would have thought that you would have also gotten full credit if you mechanically weeded them, but that doesn't appear to be the case. You need to actually spot spray with one of the sprayers with the crop sensors on to get that credit. So that's what we're doing. It is pretty neat technology, I have to admit. There was a mod come out recently that modified the Hardy so that you could do spot spraying with one of the self-propelled sprayers. Hopefully the other ones will come eventually as well. Oh, he's going to leave a nice little spot there for me to do. And you can see the dead weeds compared to the live ones there. Anyways, I just thought I'd show that because that's something new. And we'll let this guy carry on, and I'm going to meet you up at the garden center. So we'll see you there. Well, you may be wondering why we're up here at the garden center. A couple reasons actually. But before we get into that, You may have noticed in the last clip the time was at 0.5. That's because I forgot to change it after I came on and did my checkout after the big event, but I caught that, so it's back to where it should be now. Money's gone down a little bit because I did a little landscaping here in preparation for what we're going to do, just basically some leveling. And what we're going to do is Omatana brought out an update to the open air gardens, and one of the things in that update was if we go in here to productions, factories, and scroll along, we will find, oh there it is, that she added a distributor. And what this does is we can fill this up with our water, our fertilizer, and our seed, and it will distribute it to all the gardens automatically, so we don't have to go to each one individually. So I thought I'd put that, kind of tuck it away back here. I wanted to leave enough room so that we could drive around with our vehicles. I think I'll just move it just a little bit this way. I think that should be good, pretty good right there. So there we go. So I'll use our Kubota and our little water trailer we bought, throw some water in there, and I believe we have a little bit of fertilizer in our farm production that we've made, so I will grab that and throw that in there as well. The other reason we're up here is because it's part of the update. If we go in and we take a look at our productions, oh, what the heck is that on? And that one, I guess we're out of material. Yeah, so we've got 5,000 liters of fertilizer, so we'll bring that up. If we get down to our gardens here, she's added some additional crop types in that she's added sugar beet, soybean, corn, and cotton. But in this first garden here, when we come in, if we scoot on down, we'll see that we're running strawberries in there. Now we're going to need strawberries if we're going to bake a cake, which I hope to do after we get our sugar beets in. But for right now, I'm just taking those and selling them. So what I'm going to do is, because we don't have any seeds right now, and I've been using our barley that I had set aside for pig food to make a few seeds, is we're going to go in and we're going to change this strawberry one to, now this hopefully would, yes, strawberries, from strawberries to corn and manure. And so I'm going to take that corn down and we'll turn that into seed to bring up here to our market garden. Now we'll put it back on strawberries at some point when we're going to bake our cake, but for now I want to change that. So I am going to go and grab this water tank and haul some water to our distributor, and I'll bring up that fertilizer, and when we get to that point I'll bring in and we'll get this thing distributing, see how that's done. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Well, here we are back up at the garden center. I have put some of everything in there. Now if we go in here, we can see that right now they're set to storing, so we're going to set all these to distributing, and we should see at the top of the hour here that it distributes to our gardens. It also acts like a bit of a silo, really, because we can take out from this side here, so if we fill it up and we need to get some stuff back, we can. So we will let that run, and I've taken note of the quantities that were in there, and we'll see what happens at the top of the hour. Should be enough water in there, I think, pretty close to fill all the gardens up. We'll see if it distributes a little bit or if it just tops them up. So we'll catch up with you in just a few minutes. Well, if we take a look, we can see our water's gone down significantly. Our seeds and fertilizers, not so much. They're down a little bit. But it does appear that the water mostly went to the farm production shop that we put in. It did not come to the market gardens. They were just about full. They were only down, a couple thousand liters or less. What I'm suspecting might have happened is that because the productions are tied together, it sensed that the farm shop was closer to empty than the market gardens, so it sent the majority down there. I didn't record the exact numbers up here, but it didn't send any seeds or fertilizers, near as I can tell. Definitely no fertilizer because there's none in there. So I know for certain it didn't send any down, and all of the market open air gardens here, the fertilizer sections are full, and they were just about full as well. So I think we're going to leave it run again. We're not going to give up on it. I am going to throw more water in it. If I get the opportunity, I'll throw some more in the farm shop down below too, and see um, if that works out. Because my idea was I was hoping I could just come up here and throw a couple trailer loads in every time I come up and look after the products and keep everything topped up as far as water goes. So anyway, I did the touch up on the areas that were left by our worker who was doing the um, weeding or the spraying. So that's done. So I think I'm just going to throw some more water in here for now. And that's pretty much going to be a wrap for today on the farm. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. Tomorrow could be, things could get pretty exciting. It'll be a new month. There's potential that our sugar beet harvest will be ready to go. There's also, we'll have some grass that's ready at that time as well. So there'll be lots to do tomorrow. So till the next game day, I think that's it for now. And I'll kind of do a report when we get into tomorrow what happened with this distribution thing. Maybe able to give you an update at that time. So anyways, we'll see you tomorrow morning here on the farm. Well, as you can see, it's early the next morning. I'm back up here at our market garden. Our money has gone up because I sold all our products this morning, so I got that done. Also, speaking of money, in that opening montage, you saw some baling taking place. That was a baling contract, and I had forgotten to collect the money for that. So, and we can see we got a plowing and a cultivating contract that came up this morning, so we've got that to do. And as well, if we take a look at our map here, we will see that our corn is ready to harvest. And if we go over to here, we can see that the our sugar beets are also ready. So we've got lots of farming that we need to get done. But I wanted to have a little chat, kind of close out the conversation regarding this distributor. It did come with the update to the open air gardens from Watan, as I explained, but it does distribute not only to the open gardens, but to any place that needs the particular product it's holding as an input. So for the fertilizer and the seed, that's no problem. The only place that's taking that is our open air gardens. But for the water, it's a bit of a different story. Our open air gardens, they obviously take water. They hold 20,000 liters. Our production building here, it takes water and it holds about 100,000 liters. And then if we go down and look at our productions and we go right to the very bottom here, we'll see our farm production building, that new building we put in. It's coming. We're getting there. It takes water and it holds about 2 million liters. You can see there's 800,000 in there now. When I started this, when I first put it in, there was 100,000 liters in there only. So how this distributes the water we put in is based on its capacity. So the farm production building has an overwhelmingly larger capacity, so most of the water we put in here is going into the farm production building. Now, I didn't put that 800,000 liters of water in 2,000 liters at a time with that little trailer and the Kubota like I was planning. I used this setup here, and you may all already be aware of this, but in case someone isn't, I thought I'd just show it quick. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but I put in a water supply right handy here, It actually came from the Omatana open air garden upgrade as well, but it's only 500 bucks. And start it up. We can start filling our trailer, and at the same time, we can unload it. And when it fills faster than it unloads, so when it hits 100%, the loading turns off, but the trailer continues to empty. But if we hit R3, we can fill it again, and you can sit here and in very short order put a fair amount of water into the water tank to distribute. So that's what I did. I didn't spend that much time on that yesterday's game day. I just spent a few minutes doing this, and like I said, it's like you're continually filling it from the water source, so works pretty good. There's probably modded trailers or tankers that would dump faster, but this is what I had, and it worked. So just thought I'd show you that. And in pretty short order, what have we got? 83,000 liters of water in there. So that'll distribute. Once we get the farm production full, it will it'll make sure to top up these other areas. I think this tower holds 1,000,000 liters on its own. So my intention is to continue filling it, and it will work out as we intended in the end. It's just that supply, or farm production building has a huge water capacity. So, but it will all work out. So I'm going to leave that set up here. You can see on the trailer I have 3 pallets of corn already. So that's pretty good, because only about 12 hours I would say we've had that on, or less maybe. So I'm going to take this to our farm production building, and we'll throw it in there and make seed out of it. So I'll catch up with you down there, and we've got some another issue to talk about when we get down there. See you in a minute. Oh, here we are back down at our main farm. We'll throw this corn in here. And if we go look at our menu here, first off, let's corn to seeds. We'll turn that on. There's one thing I wanted to say about distributing here as well. Originally, I had set the digestate to distribute out of here, and what happens is it turns out it distributes to itself. Same kind of issue that we have with the other production, and it has a large capacity, so it's not distributing down to our dryer. So I put it on storing, and we had kind of an issue with the silage as well. Actually, I'm going to turn that on to storing, because what happens is the Omatana silo was distributing to here. So for silage and digestate, I'm going to turn all the distributing off, and I'm just going to have to cart that just because of that interaction between the different devices. So a little bit of extra carting, but not too big a deal. So just be aware of that when you're using these, that they will distribute even to themselves if one of the outputs is also an input for another recipe. And if we look here at the construction menu, it should have been no surprise if we look at the distributor here just really quick, and then we'll move off of this subject, I promise. Where is that sucker? It does say right there, greenhouses and productions. So shouldn't have been a surprise that it distributes everywhere. So just be aware. I did confirm I had a buddy who was using this mod as well, because I was wondering if it was part of the event issue, but no, it's behaving the same way. So it just distributes the digestate back to itself, and it's also a receive point for silage. So if you're distributing silage like I was to the BGA, it also comes here, but because it's got such a large capacity, holding capacity, it takes the majority of your product, so it kind of messes things up that way a little bit. Anyway, enough said about that. We need to park this trailer up and head to the shop. As I said, our sugar beets are ready to harvest, and I was talking to the machinery shop manager, making arrangements yesterday to lease some equipment, or so we could do our sugar beet harvest, and he said he wanted to talk to us about that, coincidentally, so I'm headed off down there to see what he has to say, so I'll see you down at the shop. Well, I just came out from talking to the shop manager, and what he wanted to talk to us about is this equipment right here. Apparently, this was purchased by a local farmer, was used only for one harvest, and he returned it a unsatisfied customer, apparently. I didn't go into too much details, but because I was inquiring about some sugar beet equipment, he said he had this that he's kind of stuck with, and give us a really good deal. So he told us to come out and check it out. Let's jump in here. 1.7 hours, doesn't have a lot of time on it. He's right about that. $4. Well, that's pretty nice equipment, but it's bigger than what we needed or really could afford. I guess the one thing he did share the issue was the other customer was pretty unhappy about buying this truck in particular and its condition, paint condition, particularly after just one use. Well, I can see it's a little rough, all right, for just such a few hours. Well, let's take a look online and see what that vehicle is worth. Whoa, 280,000. Well, I think I might be a little tore up too if after what it had less than 2 hours on it, and that's what the paint looked like. Well, it's probably a little outside our range, but I'll go back in and talk to him and see what he's thinking. So I'll get back with you in just a minute. Well, as you can see, our money went down. I did it. We haggled for quite a while, but I actually got 30% off of retail for this. Kind of the way I looked at it is I paid full price for the harvester. It's just like new, and got the truck for only an additional 70,000. So we saved $210,000 on this pair. Certainly more than we need, but I guess we're going to do sugar beets. So now we just got to pay for this. That brought our loan up to a cool $1 million. Oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. So I'm going to head back to the farm. I'm going to get a worker going on those contracts. Even more important that we start getting some money coming in. I've got to look after license and that on these, and then we'll get them out to the field and we'll start our sugar beet harvest and make these things earn their keep. So I will catch up with you in a few minutes. Okay, we're down here at the basically by the cow farm, just in behind here, and I put our production place in for pig food. It only costs 20,000, so I haven't borrowed any other money yet, so we're still at $1 million. There's lots of different animal production factories out there that you can use. This one here was the one I was planning to use, and it uses, I think there's 3 different recipes, but we're going to use a standard recipe that was used in FS19, which was corn, canola, sugar beet, and barley. I think that's it. Anyways, that's what we've put the crops in to do. I put this in because it acts like a silo as well. I'm not sure how much sugar beet it'll hold, but we're going to fill it up with our harvest. Our equipment is up at the sugar beet field waiting for us. I had to fuel it and repair it. $500,000 and it came empty and in need of a few repairs, but we got a pretty good deal. I have a worker over there. I don't think we can see him, but he's over there just on the other side of those trees on field 5 working on a cultivating contract. And actually a second cultivating contract came up, so we actually have 3 on the go, 2 cultivating, 1 plowing. But we'll head up to the field and let's try out this new sugar beet equipment. I'll see you up there. Well, here we are with our spanky new harvester. We'll get it unfolded here. Sugar beet harvesting is one of the jobs I find you can do pretty easily from in-cab most of the time. Now, there's 3 places we can use sugar beet in our pig food, and like I said, that production facility acts kind of like a silo, so we'd be able to get sugar beets back out of there if we need to. What I haven't done is seen what its capacity is, so I don't know how much it'll hold. Then our farm production can use it to make sugar that we can use in our cake, so we'll fill that up as well. And then the biogas plant could take cut sugar beet. And what I was hoping is that we might be able to get away without having to purchase a silo of some sort to hold our sugar beet, but I suspect we won't be that lucky, but I thought we'd give it a try. I also, before I came up here, as I mentioned, I have to cart around our silage and our digestate just now, so I did that, and so we've got some digestate in the dryer. It takes about a whole month to get enough digestate to get a complete dryer full of our green fertilizer from our BGA. We will have a little left over from our farm production. It makes digestate from the silage, but the majority of that we're using to make our green liquid fertilizer. So, but there is a little left over that we can utilize. With $1 million in debt now, we need to make all the money we can. I think this episode might turn out to be just a little bit longer because I wanted to get this sugar beet harvesting underway in this one. So apologize for that, but hopefully you think it's worth it. I also, in addition to our sugar beet harvest, our corn harvest, our 3 contracts, I realized we need to fertilize and spray our barley field as well, so we have that to do. And then our grass, if my calculations are correct, is ready to be cut and processed. So got lots of farming to do in the near futures. Keep us busy for sure. Oh, I didn't pay attention. Did I go the right direction around? Oh, I did. So that truck actually come handy, especially since we got to cart our silage now, and when we're doing our other harvests as well. So we have more uses for it than just the sugar beet. And I believe it does have a trailer hitch on it, so we could actually tow our trailer behind it for a little extra capacity. This is much nicer than using the tow behind one that I thought we'd be leasing originally. So from that point of view, it works out pretty good. Come spring, I think we'll put sugar beets back in here, and if we can afford it come spring, I'd like to buy, I think it's field 20, and we'll join them together and we'll make one very large sugar beet field. Because we've got a few places we can use it, and if whatever they don't use, we could sell. That wasn't a very good external view. Missed a little spot there, but I'll come back and get it. Pretty neat machines. Although this is not as big as the Pterodos one we had in base game on FS19, but it has come out as a mod. But it's even more expensive than this unit. I put the butter and flour is on distributing, so it distributes to back to the farm shop so we can use it for cake. And I guess I'm going to have to throw the strawberries back on, but they produce really quickly. So I'll just get a few pallets of those and throw them in so we can make a cake. So we can probably get that on the go next episode. I haven't checked what the prices are like here in Calmsden for cake, but on most other maps it's pretty profitable. Especially since we are producing all our products or the ingredients that are required ourselves. So. Alright, well I am going to run up and grab the truck, and I will catch up with you in just a second. Nice. I was hoping I actually didn't test it. The truck has a capacity of 49,000. The second I'm going to jump out here and I'm going to shut the... Oh, okay, let's try and be a little smarter about that. Jump up here. I just want to shut the engine off here. The truck has a capacity of 49,000 and the harvester is 45, but I have the weight limits on. But I was hoping the truck would hold it all. It's got enough axles, I figured it should. I know hope isn't really a strategy. But anyways, I am going to take this down to our new pig food production and we'll dump it off. And from that get an idea of how much it'll hold. So I'll catch up with you down there. Well, there's our sugar beet going in. That really is a nice unit. Bit of a beast. I looked at the cost to repaint it was 12,000, so I think we'll use her as is. Well, oh, it just updated there. It's going to take a fair bit of sugar beet, so we'll be okay. And like I said, I have used this on a smaller scale, and I know we can take back out of it, so it acts like a silo. So we're going to get a fair bit in there. Oh, I think we'll make it around here. Well, I think I am going to carry on with this harvest. And with the other farm activities as well, the contracts. And when you get ready to do the corn harvest, which I'm hoping will be later today, I'll bring you back in. But for this episode, I think we'll leave it there. So if you're still with me, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this entertaining or informative, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, I encourage you to hit the notification bell. But for this episode, we'll call it a wrap. And until next time, it's Farmer Murphy signing out.